Yellowjackets hit the road for 4 straight away from Billings. Tom, coming off a huge come-from-behind 3-2 victory on Saturday, a very inspirational win for your guys. Trailing 2-0 at halftime, what was going through your mind, and how did the team adjust and respond in the second half?
At halftime, we knew that we made 2 silly mistakes, which led to their goals. We knew we wasn't playing well. Our hearts weren't in the first half. I'm not sure why. We were just ill prepared for the first half. But at halftime, what was going through our minds, what we said to each other was, "Look, lads, like, we can't be disappointed. We need to pick each other up now." We knew that Trevor was watching down on us as well, and he was going to help us throughout the game. And we knew just to encourage each other and play the way that we knew how we could play. And we knew that we'd get a result if we just relaxed and played the way we do.
And that win followed up a 1-0 shutout of Northwest Nazarene, a very strong performance. Talk about that first match of the week. Fernando Perez had the game winner, and the defense just an excellent job shutting down the Crusaders.
Yeah, it was a great finish by Fernando. Left foot, unusual for him as he's mainly right-footed. But yeah, the performance was superb shutout for the whole team, as we all had to do a job defensively. Tactically, we played outstanding. A lot of credit for that game also has to go to the forwards such as Ricardo and the wingers as Thiago and Julian, because they had to work very defensively that game, which helped us out a lot at the back.
And this week you faced 2 teams that you've already faced once this year, Simon Fraser and Western Washington. First, looking ahead to the Clan coming up on Thursday, what are your thoughts seeing this team a second time?
I think they're a very good team. One of the best teams in the GNAC. They play very good soccer. They're also very physical. I know it'll be a tough game, but we haven't really spoken about how we're going to prepare for the game or anything yet. We just come off of a good week of results. Confidence is very high. But I know that when we go into that game, we'll come out flying as we always do, and hopefully we'll be able to get a result.
And I would imagine same mindset on Saturday against Western Washington, another team that you've seen once. You had a good result against them here at home, and this time you have to face them on the road.
Exactly, but playing against Western, we can't take anything for granted that we beat them at home. It's a new game. I'm sure they've improved. They've got a couple of good results under their belts now, and the season's underway more, so it's going to be a tough game. Both of them will be very tough.
Yellowjackets coming off a pair of wins last week. Julian, in the first game, you had the assist on the only goal. It was a 1-0 win over Northwest Nazarene. Talk about the play and the pass that you made to Fernando when he scored.
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, then Ricardo gave me the ball, gave me a good pass, and I was actually tried to go to goal, but then the defender made it impossible for me. So I think I was against 2 defenders after that, and then I just passed the ball to the 18-yard box line. I was hoping for somebody to be there, and Nando was quick enough to read my play and scored a fantastic goal, I think.
And then the next game, you guys faced a lot of adversity. You were down 2-0 at halftime. Ricardo with 3 goals in the second half. You're tied for the GNAC lead in assists this season, and more often than not, it's been you finding Ricardo. Talk about what it's been like playing with him offensively and how you guys have been able to connect.
Yeah, I think it's the best striker I've ever played with. Never seen a guy like him scoring that many goals in a season so far, and I always know where he's going, and I know his runs, and I think we connect really good together. Right now, it feels like we can beat every team. I mean, for me, in my opinion, NNU is probably the best team in our conference, and the way we played against them, and I think we could have won even higher than 1-0. And then the game against Concordia, 2-0 down, and then playing with 10 men for 35 minutes, and still manage a great comeback like this. I think right now we feel like we can beat everyone.
And then coming up this week is 2 teams that you've already played against once this season. Your thoughts first on Simon Fraser on Thursday.
Yeah, Simon Fraser will be a really, really tough game on Thursday, because they're also one of the best teams in the conference, top 4 teams, and if we can manage to get a win out of that game, I think we're in a really, really good position.
Yellowjackets, the top offense in the GNAC so far this season, and the current momentum with 3 straight victories, heading out on the road for 4 straight tough GNAC games. Coach, just your overall thoughts on the way the team is gelling and really peaking right now.
Well, it's just like you said it, or it's like you just said it. We're peaking at the right time towards the end of the season. However, our motto all season long has been to focus on the process and not on the goal. We have a dream for sure, and we may be coming a little bit closer to that dream, but the only thing that we're interested in right now is this afternoon's training session. We know that we have Simon Fraser and Western Washington to worry about this weekend, and we will for sure prepare those games to the best of our abilities, but we want to make sure that we have a quality training session this afternoon, and then we can start thinking about the first game on Thursday. But looking back on the last 2 games that we played in GNAC, 2 fantastic results against 2 very good teams, and two games where our team left everything on the field, and we couldn't be prouder with the results that they put together, but also with the adversity that they faced, and with all the distractions that were surrounding the game, because we had MSUB Kicks Cancer on Saturday, and it was a very emotional afternoon, but I think that the guys in the end dealt with all of that very, very well.
The Yellowjackets named the GNAC Team of the Week. Talk about being recognized as the top program in the conference across all sports for what, to say at the very least, was an inspirational come-from-behind victory.
It sure was. It sure was. And it's great that the conference is recognizing all the hard work that we've put in since the beginning of the season. It's good that we get individual recognition, for sure. But as a coach, of course, the thing that I'm interested in is being successful as a team. And we were recognized by our conference for doing that these last 2 games. So I want to thank the GNAC for that. But it's all down to the players. They're the ones who put those performances together. So it's their award.
Ricardo Palomino earning individual plaudits as well. Second GNAC Player of the Week honor of the season for him. He scored a hat trick in the second half and lifted you guys to a win. Part of what's made him so successful is his efficiency. He has scored on 35% of the shots that he has taken this season, and as a team, that has reciprocated. You guys rank number 1 in goals, but you only rank 4th in total shots. Talk about how efficient this team has been and just has a nose for goals when it does shoot.
Well, you play like you practice. That's number 1. We work on finishing in practice. We play a lot of small-sided games where our players are in a situation or in a position where they can put the ball in the back of the net. And then we replicate, or we try to replicate that during games. The other thing is that I am not a big fan of prima donnas. I don't like selfish players. So when our players take shots, they need to be in the best possible position. They can only take a shot if a pass to a teammate is not on who's in a better position. So I think that those 2 things make for that great percentage.
And this week you have 2 opponents you've already played this season, Simon Fraser and Western Washington. Your thoughts on facing them for a second time? The magnitude of these games will certainly be much higher the later that you get in the season.
Yes, that is correct. However, we try to keep pressure away from our players by, again, focusing on the first task ahead. And that is this afternoon's training session. And then we have a video session tonight. So that's our number 1 priority. And our number 2 priority is the video session tonight. We know, or we have a good idea about how Simon Fraser is going to play. We have a good idea about how Western Washington is going to play. And again, we will make sure that our team knows that and that they're prepared. But that preparation starts this afternoon with our training session.
One last question for you. Before Saturday's match, it was Sebastian Easton with the ceremonial kickoff. Fitting that Ricardo Palomino was the one receiving that kick and then went on to perform the heroics he did.
It sure was. And I know that our players love having Sebastian around the team bench during games and his family next to the bench because it just inspires them. It pushes them maybe a little bit harder. We also had Trevor Wildberger's parents next to us, John and Tammy. And it was awesome to see how after the last whistle, our whole team ran towards them and celebrated the win with them because it was a win for them and it was a win for their son. But having people around our team, involved with our team, part of our MSUB men's soccer family is something that helps us put things into perspective, but also pushes our players maybe that little bit farther.